take this nation and bring me back home again.
Thank you, Danny. I love that song.
I do too.
There was once a young boy that was driving a hayrack down a country lane. And as he went in front of a farmer's house, he got a little close to the edge, and he flipped it on its side. Actually, he flipped it over. Well, the farmer looked out the window and saw what was going on. So he went down there to check. And when he got down by the wagon, he found there was a young boy that was crying. He told him it'd be okay, and the boy said, "My father is going to be so angry with me." And he said, "It'll be all right. I'll help you get the wagon turned back over. We'll get the hay back on it. We'll get you on your way in no time. But right now it's dinner time. And we need to go up to the house and eat dinner. It'll help you feel a little better too." "My father's going to be so angry with me." "Well, just trust me. It'll be okay. We can go and get something to eat, and then we'll get you on your way." So he led the boy up to the house. They sit down and they had a wonderful meal. They sat and enjoyed the meal, and then the farmer led him back down to the wagon. And the boy says, "My father's going to be so angry at me." And the farmer says, "Now just relax. I'll take care of it. I'll talk to your father. It'll be okay. Oh, you don't understand. I'll handle it. We'll get you back on your wheels, get the hay on. It'll be okay. Where is your father anyway?" "He's under the wagon." So, yeah. Myra wants us to do the lesson today on the peace song. I think I know a young boy that's not going to feel a lot of peace for a little while. But anyway, my name is Don Ray, not King. And Michael's with me, and we're going to do our sermon today, so you'll get it in two pieces. And the peace song begins with "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me." We all look out there and we all want peace. We want to know how we're going to get that peace. And we're always reaching out there. If we just had a better job, if we had a better house, if we had more money, a better relationship, we would find peace. But that might give us just a temporary relief, but we'll never find real peace looking out there. In order to find peace, we have to look within. For peace is in our heart, peace is within us. And that's where you got to look. Everybody wants peace. Peace in the world. But peace in the world starts in here. And you can never really have true peace out there. You can never give out there what you don't have within you. So if you want to find peace, turn within and look for it, because it's in there. It's a God-given truth. It's the Christ presence within us of who we are. And we can always turn in to find that. We all just kind of focus in the wrong direction. There was once a man who wanted to know what the picture of the perfect peace was. So he had a contest, and he asked artists to draw or paint what they thought the perfect peace was. And on the day of the contest, artists from all around got into this and brought their paintings. And they had a huge crowd. And they started opening and looking at all these paintings. And the crowd oohed and awed and thought, they were amazing. And they all wanted to see them. But it got down, they had 2 paintings left. And the crowd was waiting with eager anticipation, wanting to see what was going on. So they uncovered the first one. And it showed a beautiful lake that was crystal clear, smooth as glass, and reflected on the lake on the far side were trees and shrubs, flowers. Behind that, you had some beautiful hills, and behind that, there was a beautiful sunset with all the colors and the rays of light. And flying across the lake was a flock of birds, and the people looked back and said, "That's got to be the perfect piece. That's such a beautiful picture." Well, the other artist was standing there, and he reached over and pulled the cover off of his picture so they could see his painting. And they all kind of gasped, because in the background of this painting, it showed a huge storm with lightning and all the turbulence and clouds, the rain. And in the foreground, it showed a rocky crag with a huge waterfall coming over it. You could just feel the coldness of the mist and stuff from that waterfall when you looked at it. And on the face of that cliff, a single tree grew, reaching out, kind of spindly, and had a branch that kind of curled around towards the waterfall. And in the elbow of that branch, a bird had built a nest. And this bird was sitting there, totally content, on a clutch of eggs, with its eyes closed, serene, and at peace. Not a care in the world, just waiting for the chicks to hatch so it could raise them. If we look at the slide we have now, it says peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm within our heart. And that's what this bird found. Peace isn't out there. It doesn't matter what's going on around you in the world. It's what's within you is where you're going to find your peace. We might look at the world and see all the chaos, the conflict, and that's what the news gives us, because that's what sells newspapers or gets people to watch a program. But there is just as much or more things going on in our world, of people helping each other, of people being at peace and finding beauty in our world, because we live in a beautiful world. Matthew 5:8 says, "Blessed are those who are pure of heart, for they will see God." We can all do that. We all have that opportunity. We teach that in unity. We teach that the Christ presence is within you, the truth of who you are. And all we have to do is look at that and accept that as truth. Know that we're one with God. Know that that presence is always with us. And we can see the beauty in our world, because it's there, it's everywhere. We have a beautiful congregation right here that we can share and be with. And that's really what I want to leave you with today as I conclude this part of this, is to know that when you're out, well, leaving here or the coming week going to work, if you get stuck in traffic, you're going to be 10 minutes late, we have a choice. We can get upset. We can be angry, resentful, or we can just take a deep breath, just kind of turn to that presence within us and know that this isn't going to change who I am. This isn't going to affect me. It's normal to react to something, but we need to let go of it then and get back into the peace of who we are, because each of you radiates the light of God, and that's the truth of who you are. I have a lot more I'd like to say, but my partner over here would probably like to talk too, so I'm going to have to let him up here. But thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. As our title of our talk today is Think You Know About the Peace Song, I thought it might be good if we actually taught you a little bit about the peace song, its origin, and the story of how it came about. And that story is the story of a remarkable woman named Jill Jackson and her creation of this song that has won just worldwide acclaim. Jill Jackson Miller was born as Evelyn Merchant on August 25th, 1913, just down the road here in Lawrence, Missouri. Her mother died when she was 3, and her childhood actually from then on was very traumatic and disruptive, and by age 12 she ended up being a ward of the court and was then adopted at age 12 with her sister by Mr. and Mrs. Cohen. She was actually the youngest of 4 children. She had 2 brothers and a sister. And so Jill attended high school right here at Northeast High School in Kansas City. And I have a picture of her yearbook photo. And she was on the student council, she was in the drama club, and she was a member of the National Honor Society. After high school, she spent a couple years in Kansas City Junior College, and after school, she would work for KMBC Radio. But then, after 2 years, she couldn't wait anymore to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming an actress. So she moved to Hollywood, where you go to fulfill your dreams to be an actress. And for the next, I think about 10 years, using the screen names of Jill Martin, Harley Wood, and Harleen Wood, she starred in almost 20 films, most of them B westerns. And in this picture, you see her in 1939 with Buster Keaton in one of her movies. In 1940, she married Felix Jackson, who was a writer and director. And at that point, she ended her career in film. But it wasn't before she also filmed some Three Stooges movies and episodes. And so I know I have seen Jill before, because growing up, I watched a lot of Three Stooges movies. And I thought they were really crazy. And maybe why I've decided to be a minister, I'm not really sure. That could have done it right there. Jill had 2 daughters with Felix, and about 4 years later, unfortunately, they went through a traumatic divorce that was really hard on Jill. And so at that point in her life, she was divorced, and she had been through, if you were counting with me, 5 different names actually that she had gone under in her life up to that point. So I'm not sure either if she was really practicing to be able to win the name game anytime she played, or I think what it really was is she was searching. She was searching for who she really was. She was searching for her identity and her self-worth. And the changing names was just a reflection of that. So after her divorce, she actually attempted suicide. And fortunately, it wasn't successful. And something good that came out of that was during her slow recovery, she had some profound sacred experiences that led her to a deep belief in God, in spirit, and inspired her to start writing out of her deep spiritual experiences. She began writing for magazines and children's stories. In 1946, she met a man who would later become the love of her life, and his name was Seymour Miller, affectionately known as Cy Miller. He was a musician and a composer. And they were married in 1949. And this is a picture here of Cy and Jill. And Cy encouraged Jill to start writing songs with him. And together they formed Janley Music and wrote many songs together, with Cy writing the music and Jill writing the lyrics. In 1955, they wrote a song about their dream of peace for the world and how they believed each one of us could create it. And this is Cy Miller's own words about how that happened. After they had written the song, Sy says, one summer evening in 1955, a group of 180 teenagers of all races and religions were gathered together for a workshop retreat in the California mountains. And they all locked arms and formed a circle and sang a song of peace. They felt that singing the song with its simple, basic sentiment, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, helped to create a climate for world peace and understanding. When they came down from the mountain, Sy continues, these inspired young people brought the song with them, and they started sharing it. And as though on wings, let there be peace on earth began an amazing journey around the globe. It traveled first, of course, with the young campers back to their homes, back to their churches and their clubs. But before long, the song was being shared in all 50 states, at school graduations, at PTA meetings, at Christmas and Easter gatherings, and as part of the celebration of Brotherhood Week. It became the theme of a Veterans Day, a Human Rights Day, United Nations Day. 4-H clubs and the United Auto Workers began to sing it. So did the American Legion, the Brunei Birth, and Kiwanis clubs. The song then spread overseas to Holland, England, Italy, France, Germany, Lebanon, India, to South America, to Central America, Africa, Asia, Australia. The Marasi tribe in New Zealand sang it. The Zulus in Africa sang the song. So after writing Let There Be Peace on Earth, the desire for world peace really became the focus of Jill's life and her quest that took up much of the rest of her life. And as the song spread around the world, she was asked to give talks about the song and the power of each individual to create peace. And I'm reading here from her daughter's notes about her mom. Her daughter says, Jill was an inspiring speaker who believed that all of her varied experiences had contributed to her understanding that peace starts from within. She was always ready to encourage people to keep searching for their meaning, their inspiration, their true beliefs, and to forgive themselves and others for mistakes made along the way. And Jill readily illustrated her thoughts with tales of her own misadventures, a quality which endeared her to many. So Sy and Jill's song about peace was performed and recorded by countless well-known singers and entertainers over the decades. It reads like, if you look at the list, and it was just a small list, like a who's who of entertainers over the decades. It won awards like the Valley Forge Freedom Foundation Award, an award from the National Council on Christians and Jews. And in the next slide, you'll see when Governor Jimmy Carter, when he was before he was president, he was still governor of Georgia, honored Jill for her work in peace. Sy Miller, her husband, passed away in 1971, but Jill went on and continued her work for peace until she made her transition in Hawaii, where she was in her own home and passed away peacefully in April of 1995. In September of 2009, a children's book was published called Let There Be Peace on Earth. And it contained songs of Jill and Sy, songs for children, and of course included the song Let There Be Peace on Earth. Let me find my right page here. There we are. What I wanted to read to you is again the words of Sy Miller that capture the essence of their vision for peace and creating peace from within. Sy says, this simple thought, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, firstborn on a mountaintop in the voices of youth, continues to travel heart to heart, gathering in people everywhere who wish to become a note in a song of understanding and peace. peace for all mankind. And so now we're going to go ahead and move into our time of meditation. So I invite you to relax yourself in your chair, take a couple deep breaths. And as we begin our meditation, we're going to watch a video of this song being performed, as it was performed last September when Pope Francis first came to the United States. And at that ceremony, which was an interreligious ceremony, all faiths were invited. The Young People's Chorus of New York sang the song. So as you sit and watch, I'd like you to listen for the energy of the peace that's contained in this song, and let it wash over you and wash through you. And so I invite you to close your eyes. Take another deep breath. And carry this energy of peace deeper within. For peace is not just the absence of conflict. Peace is something in addition to the absence of conflict. In the words of Martha Beck, peace is more than just a feeling. It is the mental and physical frequency where you will find all of your real power, all of your real strength. And this frequency, this energy, this power, this peace is found within us. It is part and parcel of who and what we are. So let us sit in our awareness of our inner peace. Sit together as we enter more deeply into the silence of our being. We know peace is reality, the truth that we can create wherever we choose. And so we choose to let there be peace on earth. And we choose to let it begin with me.
Close your eyes, open your heart, breathe in and breathe out. Peace will awake and be with you. Close your eyes, open your mind, breathe in and breathe out. Then peace will awake and be with you. Close your eyes, open your soul, breathe in and breathe out, and peace will awake and be with you. If you want a world of peace, peace has a price and it don't come cheap. If you want to see the dove fly from shore to shore, it must first soar in your heart. So close your eyes, open your